You how to use the masking tool on Photoshop to create a bit of an illusion image. So you need to open up your background photo. So you might have it in Google Classroom, otherwise you need to save one from the internet. I've just got this one here that's got that sort of interesting environment within this mirror. So have a look on your Google Classroom and make sure you've got a background image. The other thing you'll need to do is open up an image to put inside of your reflection. So I'm just going to open up this image of a desert that I've saved. So it's up to you if you're going to grab something off the internet or one of the photos that you've maybe taken during your course. Make sure you've got that opened as well. So we're just going to create a new layer. So just dragging that background layer into here, just that little box down the bottom, sorry, so that you've got a second one just in case something happens, so we haven't completely gotten rid of that background layer there. Now we're going to go over to our image that we're going to place in there, so my desert image, and I'm going to grab it. So I've just got the cross there. Just going to grab this image and pull it straight across, so it's on top like that. You want to position it sort of over the top of your reflection, so if you need to resize it, just shift and on the corner to resize and place that there. Sorry. Okay. And then I'm actually going to rotate mine a little bit as well, just because if you notice that one in there sort of on a bit of an angle, so I sort of want to mimic that a little bit too, and just place that over the top like so. All right, so now we're going to turn off the view of this layer here, so layer 1. So it's still there, I haven't gotten rid of it, but I've just turned off that visibility. And we're going to actually use the lasso tool to trace around. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see it much better. And I just want to make sure that I've actually got the, what's it called? The polygonal lasso tool. So if you don't get the option to do it here, just check this bottom part here. You should be able to get all of your tools here too. So that one there. Now this one, every time you click, it's going to come up in little straight lines. So every time you click, you'll be able to get more of a curve. So I'm just going to start at the top here and just sort of work my way down like so. So just working your way around your shape. I'm going to try and get as much of this grass as I can. We are going to feather the edges after so that it doesn't look too graphic, I guess. Too many lines around it. So we'll just keep working our way around. So do your best to make this as neat as possible. I'm trying to rush through it a little bit just so we're not taking too long on this video. But the neater you get it, the less sort of fixing up that you're going to have to do. So just take your time with it and try and get the best sort of shape you can. All right, when you get that little circle coming up, that means you're at the end. So you just want to make sure you're clicking when you actually have that circle on. And you'll see that's my selection path. So you get your little walking ants kind of looking thing going around, and that's this, what I've selected. What I'm going to do now is turn my layer back on, and you'll see that the walking ants are still there, all right? And basically what we're going to do is actually select that part there. So that's the part that's going to stay, and the rest of it around will disappear. So to do that, down the bottom of the window, of the program, there's this little white rectangle with a dot in the middle, with a circle in the middle. Kind of looks like the Japanese flag. We're going to click on that, and you'll see what it's done. It's gotten rid of that excess around and just kept that internal bit there. All right. Cool. So I'm pretty happy with that. I probably could have done a little bit neater job in some areas, but for the purpose of this video, I think it's done the job. So what we're going to do now is just feather the edges. So we're just going to use the brush tool just to make those edges a little bit smoother so they're not as jerky. Like you can see on the side here, we've still got that quite dark area there. It's not just a nice clean white and then desert. So what we're going to do is swap over to our brush tool. All right, you want to make sure that you're on this masked layer, not this layer here. Okay, so we're on layer 1 or our desert layer, but you want to make sure you're on the masked part. Okay, zooming in, I'm just going to very softly sort of go across or around the edges of my thing. The more that you click, the more that it'll sort of almost like erase. But we're just going to sort of smooth around like so, and it just sort of feathers that edge so it's not as big a difference. So I'll just do part of it, and then we can sort of compare. It works really well on the grass as well, so you can see there's some quite harsh differences here, so you can sort of just blur that a little bit more so it's not as obvious that the difference between the two. You know, it looks a little bit more natural. Just sort of like so. So now when I zoom out, you can sort of see on these edges here that it's just a little bit smoother in comparison to the rest of it. I'm going to stop this video here just so I don't go on for so long, but have a go using those techniques, so the masking and the feathering. You can do lots of different things. Obviously, this is quite a simple one in terms of just being a circle, but you can go around people and mask them into different backgrounds and things like that as well.